Hello.
You feel extra special now?
I do.
So, Carson, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and like how old you are and what grade you're in, and when did you start doing all of this? Like when do you like?
When I started cooking.
Whether you consider it cooking, or I remember your lemonade stands too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
whatever you consider first, like
Okay.
tell us a little bit of history.
So my name is Carson Wood, as you all know. So I'm 11 years old, and I'm in 6th grade. And a long time ago, about when I was 3, I started cooking because my parents divorced. And it kind of made me sad in a way because I always loved how my parents were together. But it drove me to do something better. So I started cooking. Of course, back then I didn't know much about cooking, so I was just like stirring pots for Mom. But I really started getting into cooking. I thought it was just going to be something that I did that didn't really give much attention, but over time I got more interested in it. And I started doing lemonade stands, and I started thinking about TV shows because I saw all these cooking TV shows and I saw all these great kids that were on the show, and I wanted to be one of those kids. So I applied for it, and by chance I got on the show, which was like 1 out of 1,000. That was really great.
You're talking about Food Network though, right?
Yeah.
But didn't you try for one even before that?
I did. So before I tried out for Chopped, I tried out for another TV show called Rachel vs. Guy Kids Cook-Off. It's on TV right now, but Guy isn't on it anymore because he's working on other TV shows. But I tried out for it, and I almost got on, but they never called me back, which I hate when people do. But they never called me back, so that's the end of that.
Yes. You didn't give up, right?
No, of course not. I love cooking, so I would never really give up because, well, cooking is one of my hobbies. So, I mean, one thing to never give up, right?
Right. So, and I know you don't just do cooking either, so explain some more about your different adventures.
So I also like other things. I like to call myself the man of arts because I do all the different kinds of arts. I do culinary arts, I do regular art, I do singing, and I do dancing because I really like all of those. I've had many adventures with that. When I was younger, I used to do ballet. And now, since I'm in middle school, I do choir and art every day as my electives, which is really cool.
Okay. So, what have you learned in this process? And you were saying it really fast, so I know that there's more to it because even when we talked, it wasn't quite that quick.
Oh, so a little bit more about cooking. Okay. So what really interested me in cooking is that you could take this set of ingredients, like say onions, tomatoes, chicken, lettuce, and taco shells, and you could put them all together and you could make a mini chicken taco. I always liked how you could take different ingredients and make something completely new with lots of new different flavors. With cooking, it's just something that I really like because when my parents divorced, I was really sad, but cooking just kind of brings me into another world, you know, like instead of being in the world where my parents are divorced, I'm in a world where they're still together and we're all cooking together.
As a kid, do you see a lot of other kids doing this too? Doing any of it, you know, the cooking or the other arts that you mentioned?
Well, I see lots of kids do this stuff every day, but I don't really see people that do like shows on them most of the time. But I see kids who aspire to do this stuff every day. So, I mean, to those kids out there, you really could do great in this world. Just like me.
So what do you, well, okay, so let's talk more about Food Network and Chopped. So so first it started with you knew you wanted to get on the show, right? So once you decided that, what was the next thing that you had to do?
What do you mean?
Well, you could just say, I want to be on the show, and it happened. What?
Well, it took a long time of doing stuff because I first had to submit an application to the Food Network website, and then about 3 weeks later, I got an email, and then I had to submit a video of me cooking, and then about 3 months later, I had to do a FaceTime with the directors of Chopped, and then after that, I know there's a lot of steps to this, I had to get a phone call or an email saying that I made it on the show. It's a long process, and I am terrible at patience, so it was hard for me to do all of that.
And was anyone helping you when you were doing this?
My mom, and not my dad. I did most of this with my mom, but my dad was there for support. And my brother liked to tell me like what kind of sentences I should say. But of course, I usually don't listen to him. See, right now he's putting his headphones on. Thanks, Ethan.
Yeah. But still, I mean, you have a lot of support there, so that's cool. I mean, would you say that having that support was important as far as being able to do what you wanted, which was applying to get on the show?
The support was really great for me because it gave me lots of confidence to do this, because it takes a lot of confidence to even try out for a show. So it gave me lots of confidence, especially when you have lots of people like my family supporting me, because I have not just my immediate family, I have my cousins, and I have my grandmas and grandpas, and basically everybody who's even related to me was supporting me along the way, whether it was through email or whether it was through a call or just simply talking to me. It gave me so much courage to do this, which is why it's really great to have people supporting you.
Yeah. So and that's definitely something that I see too. So once you were on the show, once you were accepted, what happened?
Well, I kind of freaked out when I found out I was on the show. My mom recorded me. I was on my mom's black phone, and she read me the email, and I kind of freaked out. It was so cool. So after I found out I was accepted to the show, I had to wait about 6 weeks to fly out to New York, which is where it's filmed. And the first day I was there was really cool because we filmed only a little bit. We filmed me making something for it. But the first day there was really exciting because I really liked all the things there, but throughout the time I really liked the place because I got to see the Statue of Liberty, I got to see the Twin Towers, or as it's now called, the Tower of Freedom, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And lots of other things. It was so cool. I just had to record it all on my phone because it's really great. I love the place.
So going on the Food Network adventure allowed you to have another adventure because you were traveling on top of that. Yeah.
So another one of my hobbies is traveling, and I want to travel all over the world. I want to travel to different places like Rio, and I want to travel to Italy. I love Italy. And Paris, and basically anywhere in Europe. I love Europe. So I love traveling, and Chop gave me the chance to do so because my mom's been to New York 2 times, and this was my first time, so that was really cool and exciting.
Cool, very cool. So during the show, so you did your prep, and now it's time for the actual show itself. And what happens? Or do you have to stay tuned and watch it on the Food Network?
Oh, so the show already aired. It is not on TV anymore.
It will be.
Oh, it will? When?
October 4th
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
at 6 p.m.
So at 6 p.m. on October 4th, tune in to Food Network to see my episode again. But if you're impatient like I am, you can just go on YouTube and look up Chuck Jr. Season 3, Episode 2. And if you put in the keyword rattled, you can find the episode there. But if you are a very impatient person, you can see the actual show October 4th, which is way too long for me, so.
You watched it several times?
I watched it like 4 times. The first time was when it first premiered, and then the other 3 times was just on YouTube.
You can tell them what happened. It's okay now.
I know, it's just, I want them to see what happens. The only thing I'll say is, let's just say Rattlesnake is hard to cut.
But what was it like? You don't have to spoil it if you don't want to, but as far as like the ending, but what was it like to be on there and not know what the ingredients were going to be and not know, just know that you had a short time to do something?
It was so exciting to be on the show, but it's basically kind of like Chopped, except you stay there for 6 weeks. It's in Los Angeles, California. Yeah, that's farther away than New York. But so it's in Los Angeles, and basically you get a minor cooking challenge where you can win, and then you get a major cooking challenge where you can use your win from the minor victory to use as your advantage in the major victory, in the major round, because you always get something if you win the minor round, which is really cool. And they take 2 people, and 2 people get out every week.
Okay. I think I'm gonna see if the audience has any questions yet. Okay, hang on. And I will bring the microphone over. And Carson has asked if you could please state your name when you ask the questions.
Oh, hey, my name is Tinashe. So the question that I have for you, being that you're at a young age and you already kind of know what you want to do, and you say, you wouldn't stop because it's what you love to do, and it's interesting about how you found your passion. What advice do you give to those young, not even just young, because this is a problem with people even in college, what can they do to figure out what they're passionate about?
So if people are having a problem finding what they want to do, then they should just look to their passions and see what kind of like job careers they can take, and just follow your heart, because if it's something you really like to do, then you should follow that.
So what if I want to follow my heart, but everyone else is telling me it's like not the right thing to do, I won't make as much money, it's not as popular?
Well, if it's really something that you want to do, then you don't have to listen to those other people, because it's something that you want to do. It's not up to them to decide what your future is.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have a question?
I don't need a mic, I'm good. Have you considered, my name is Valerie, have you considered going on MasterChef Junior, or are you just looking at Food Network?
I really
shows?
don't want to go on MasterChef Junior. Well, I guess if I got the opportunity, I would go on it, but it's not something I'm really looking forward to, because I heard that the judge, I forgot his name, is like really mean, and I always hate a mean chef. But I do know that a mean chef is like, I've heard that a mean chef is a good chef because they're being mean because they want to make you better. But it's kind of not something I want to do at this age.
Anybody else?
Is that off? Oh, it's on. I just wanted, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to say I saw the show that you were on.
Thank you.
And I am blown away. I learned to cook at a very young age, but I never learned to cook like that. You guys showed so much imagination. I was blown away. You guys did a terrific job, and I did see that show. And when I saw you, where have I seen that kid before? I saw you on TV, and you did a great job.
Thank you. That's really nice. So, Dad, didn't you have a question?
I'll go after this gentleman.
Okay.
All right. So yes, my name is Aaron, and first of all, I'd like to say it's really inspiring to see you following your passion and doing what you enjoy to do. So my question is, do you ever see yourself maybe like teaching people how to cook?
That is something I've looked into. In fact, it's really hard to decide at a young age what you want to do, but I just have known for a long time what I've been wanting to do because it's just something that I really like to do. But cooking, teaching people to cook would be really cool because I do love teaching too. In fact, sometimes I pretend to be like my language arts teacher and teach people, but teaching is another one of my hobbies. I like pretend teaching. Just really cool.
Well, sign me up if you ever start that.
He's been thinking about trying to do a kids cooking class somewhere here in town, something we don't have.
Yeah.
Sure. You want me to use the microphone?
Just want to make sure.
Just step forward. Step right on up and ask Carson a
Okay.
question.
Carson, so a lot of people want to pursue their dreams, but then they have doubts. So what do you do when you have doubts that helps you go forward anyway?
Well, I mean, if it's really something that you want to do, those doubts can't have to mean nothing to you because you can't let anything get in your way of something that you really want to do. Because it's something that you like to do. You can't just give it up. You can't have these doubts. I used to have doubts, but they were all because I was scared. But being scared is a natural thing. But don't let those doubts get in your way of you. You can still have doubts at times, but don't let them get in the way of you. I had a doubt I would get on Chop Junior, and look at me now, I was on Chop Junior.
Did anyone else want a question? I can go on.
I'm Tara, and I have a question about when you were actually on the show.
Hi, Tara.
Hi, Carson. When you were on the show and you looked into the basket, did they give you any time to think about what you wanted to prepare, or did you have to go right into cooking?
They did, because it actually wasn't when you look at the show, it actually wasn't a surprise. I was doing a fake surprise face because we had to do that take 5 times, just me opening up the basket, and I still had to look surprised, so I couldn't be like, oh yeah, that's what was in there. I'd be like, but, so yeah, and they did give me time. A person came out from the back, and they would give you 5 minutes to think of what you were gonna do for your dish, and then you had to get going.
And then my second question is, with your YouTube channel, are you going to create more videos for that?
I do really want to create more videos. It's just been really hard. I really want to make more videos. It's just, I really want to be good at editing, but I am terrible at editing. And I don't usually have the time to figure out editing, but I'm going to make more time in the future to figure out this YouTube channel stuff.
Awesome. Can I have that? Carson, can you tell us how long it took to shoot the show the day that they did the competition shooting?
So it's a 30-minute show, but it took 6 hours for me to finish shooting for the show. And that's just for me. There were a few other people that took even longer. So I thought it was only 30 minutes, but it was literally 6 hours. My mom showed me a picture of me after it, I was like, we were eating Eat Out pizza, and I was watching TV in my hotel room, and my mom said I literally looked like this.
So was it really stressful?
It was stressful, yeah, exhilarating at the same time, because it was stressful to get all these things ready and having these people watch you do it. But I tried not to listen to those stresses, and I tried to get everything done.
Can you tell us how you felt at the end of the show?
Tired.
How did you feel about the result of the show?
I was a little bit sad, but I got over it because I know that just as many people as me deserve to win.
Oh yeah, there's actually a question from a Facebook Live. So they might have, you kind of touched on this, but could you maybe just reiterate this for them? They asked, did you experience anyone telling you that you should stop, like someone in specific? Don't use specific names, but just that example. Did someone come up to you specifically and say you should stop?
Well, there was one person, I'm gonna name him Bob, even though that's not his real name. But he was someone at school that thought this was all dumb and told me that none of this was going to ever happen, and that nothing ever happens in Kalamazoo because it's just a boring old place. Didn't listen to them because look at all of you. You all are exhilarating people.
We're on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Hey, Carson. My name is Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Carson. My question is, you said many times that you are kind of a Renaissance person. You have lots of different interests and things that you're really, truly interested in. And I was wondering what your thoughts were about potentially maybe combining some of your other interests in some way with cooking and chefing and restauranting and so on.
Chefing and restauranting, fake words, and so.
Yes. If you thought about different ways that you could, combine your interests.
I have thought about it, but I haven't come up with any ideas because I don't really want my waiters at my restaurant dancing with food in their hands. And then I was thinking for a second about doing half of it a restaurant and half of it a place where you can do art. But it'd be really weird to do that. But I mean, I guess there's more weirder places than that. So that'd be something I could do in the future. Or I could do a stand-up comedy bar. I could do a restaurant, but then also have either a singing or a comedy bar, which would be really cool to do.
Does anyone else have one before I sit back down?
Last chance. Ethan, the kids can ask questions too. Do any of you have questions? No? Okay.
So, thanks, Carson.
You're welcome. Salsa sauce. It's one of my favorites because it sounds really fancy, but it's actually really easy because it's basically just pasta in a different form, cooked steamed lobster, and then just a red sauce. So I like how it sounds fancy, but it's really not. Unless you're afraid of lobsters, then yeah, it's pretty easy to make.
Do you have a least favorite thing to prepare?
Salmon. I hate cooking salmon and any other kinds of fish, unless it's a cracker encrusted walleye. I really like that. But I don't like cooking other fishes because fish is hard to cook. Because especially if you're catching it from the wild, because then you gotta learn how to skin it and bone it, and then you gotta cook it, which is really hard.
Have you ever done any venison dishes?
Have I ever done any Venice?
Venison.
Venison.
Deer.
Oh, no. I wish, but no. I'm not a hunting person.
We would if we had access to it. We've done other stuff.
Definitely try some.
Bison
Very lean.
and, we had never done rattlesnake.
I've done
We had
duck.
that. Do duck,
That's close
yeah.
enough.
Duck's good.
Do duck.
How do you prefer it? Medium rare, rare?
I like doing it medium rare. And did you say dog?
Duck.
Duck.
Oh, I thought you said dog. I was gonna be like, how dare you?
No, dog.
I would never be able to cook that in front of my dog.
No, you probably eat it.
How do we do the duck usually?
Well, usually we just take the duck and we pan-sear it.
It's not super complicated, is it?
Nope. Sometimes I put some squeezed lemon on it and some burn or something.
Well, we do the cherry sauce.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true.
It's fun. Why do you like cooking different stuff?
Because I really like the different opportunities to make something different, because we're so used to these dishes from here, like burgers and steak and fries, whereas in other countries this would not be good, and they like something like venison and stuff like
What did you have in New York for the first time? Do you remember?
oh, I had octopus. Of course, what is it called?
No, it's squid.
It's
Calamari.
It's squid. I had fried calamari, which is really good. I liked it. At first I was scared to try it. My mom has a picture of me going like, yeah, but I was scared to try it because I was basically eating a little squid. I thought ink was going to pour out at me. But no, it was really good.
Was it hard to cook the rattlesnake?
Oh yes, definitely. Since I had never cooked it before, I didn't know whether it was going to be done or not. And I grilled it. Grilling is really hard to do, especially when you don't actually have an actual grill. So I literally had to grab a grill pan and put it on burners. And I put it on those, and rattlesnake doesn't have a lot of meat on it because of that giant bone that goes through it. See, at that time I didn't know that. So first with the bone I was literally hacking at it. My mom said I didn't notice, but they had to stop the show so all the kids could cut through it because everybody was like, ah. And once we finally got pieces, they started up the countdown clock again. And so I started grilling. My mom said it was a good idea that I grab the grill pan first because heating up the grill pan is really hard. So they didn't get lots of meat on the rattlesnake because rattlesnake doesn't have lots of meat.
That was something you never had done before, right?
Never.
Right? What made you just decide to try something you'd never done before in the middle of a competition?
Well, because I knew that, you can hear this on the show, but I knew that the Chopped judges love grill marks. They love a great grill mark. They're always complimenting people when they're like, this is a great grill mark. So I was like, why not do grilled rattlesnake? Plus it's something new for me, so I did just some lemon, some salt and pepper, and I put it on the grill.
So you just were like, I'm just going to do this, even though I've never done it before?
I'm just gonna do it. I don't care.
Oh, it works out.
Carson, what is a really odd or unusual ingredient that you would like to work with but you haven't before, now that you have done rattlesnake? I'm not putting you on the spot.
Oh, sorry, it's okay. She just said something. She said pig, but I've worked with pig before. I don't know if people can eat this, but iguana, I kind of want to work with that.
Guinea pig.
Oh, well, guinea pig. Of course, I would never be able to do that at my dad's house because we have guinea pigs at my dad's house. They would literally get out of their cage and scratch my face off.
I have a question. So who taught you how to cook?
My mom.
Okay.
All the way. My dad is a terrible cook.
No.
Just basic.
I've been feeding you all these years.
It's because you feed me torture food. No, but I've been teaching my dad how to cook better food.
You told me one time that I cooked better than McDonald's.
That was because you had That's because you had frozen fries. Anyways, anybody else? I love answering questions.
What is a good first dish for somebody who doesn't know how to cook?
What did you learn how to do first?
Wait! I'm still answering this question. Either salad or this kind of grilled cheese that I make where it's like grilled cheese, tomatoes, and lettuce. And you can also put some bacon in it if you want, so it's kind of like a BLT but grilled cheese style. You had a question, Miss Wood?
What was the first thing you learned how to cook?
Like I said, grilled cheese.
No, pancakes.
Oh.
Remember?
Well, that was a long time ago.
Which particular kind of pancakes?
Chocolate chip pancakes.
Chocolate chip pancakes, because I love chocolate chips and ketchup. I know it's weird, but I absolutely love ketchup. I'll eat it. Yes?
I have a question. So I'm one of those labeled lazy college students when it comes to cooking. You know, I'm a ramen noodles kind of person. What's a dish that I can make that's, I know you talked about salad and grilled cheese. Is there any other dish that's easy to make?
Well, it's great that you know how to boil noodles.
Do you boil them or use the microwave?
Actually, I use a microwave. I don't actually boil them.
Talking college.
Perfect. But basically, it's great that at least you have noodles. But so with the noodles, you can get vegetables like zucchini or cucumber. It doesn't matter. And you can get like sweet peppers and tomato slices, and you can get canned sauce. It doesn't matter. You can make homemade. And you pair it with the noodles, and then you also can grill the vegetables on a saute pan because it makes a really nice, healthy meal, but it's also a really good meal.
Vegetarian spaghetti.
Vegetarian spaghetti.
Speaking of microwaves, how do you do the cookie in a cup? I always was impressed with that.
I don't, it's hard to remember the ingredients of it because I usually just cook off the top of my head with whatever comes in. But it's like 2 cups of flour.
No, the cookie in the cup.
Oh, I'm thinking of regular
That's
cookies.
regular cookies.
So I'd say like half a cup of flour. No? 1/4 cup of flour?
No. We read that recipe. So, no, it's like 2 tablespoons of flour.
Wow. So
And
2
an
tablespoons
egg.
of flour, 1 egg, some milk, some vanilla.
Stop.
Sorry, there's a
Carson.
fly on this. I hate flies. But then there's
chips.
also sugar, chocolate chips, and that's basically it. And
It's about the only thing we ever cook in the microwave.
God, I hate using the microwave. It is basically the easy way to do stuff, and I like to go either the medium or the harder way because I really like using other stuff. Like I said in my interview at Chuck Jr., I like to use the oven the most.
I think Aaron had something.
Yeah, so I have 2 questions. First question, do you cook every day?
No, not every day. I wish, but no. I like to cook as much as I can because it's really fun. But sometimes I need a little bit of a break from cooking. So I do other stuff that I like to do.
Okay. And then number 2, when you cook, like, typically how long does it take you to cook?
An hour, 2, maybe 2.
No.
The only time it took like 2 hours was when I was making creme brulee, which,
Yeah.
by the way, is really hard to make. So if you're a beginner, don't try that. Yes?
I used to take culinary classes. A lot of people don't know that about me. But I used to watch Paula Deen on the Food Network, and she was like my go-to. In fact, I just went down to Savannah, and I went right by her house. Pretty cool. Anyway, who's your favorite Food Network star? Who's like your idol?
That's hard because I'm picking between two right now.
Other than yourself, I should say.
My ego. I'd have to say Rachel Ray. I really like her. But one of the top judges that was there is one of my favorites. Even though she's my favorite, I've forgotten her name.
Amanda Freitag.
Yeah, Amanda Freitag. She's one of my other favorites because she's really nice on the show and she is really good at cooking even though she doesn't have her own show.
Very cool.
So I have two questions. What is your favorite local restaurant to go to?
We can conclude again. Thank you. Thanks for all the additional questions. That was great.
Thanks, buddy.
I just love answering questions.